this year and my fellow cadets, welcome to Special Discussion on Asian Regionalism. We're here with a distinguished panel of experts to explore the challenges, opportunities, and the evolving dynamics of cooperation in Asia. Our topic tonight, how are nations in Asia coming together and what does this mean for the future of the region? Let's introduce our panelists. To my right, we have Mr. Visconde, a student from Our Lady of Fatima. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to be here.
Next, we have Mr. Camacho, also student in Our Lady of Fatima.
Glad to be here. I look forward to our conversation.
Our next panelist is Mr. Nick Dao, another student from Our Lady of Fatima.
Thank you. It's an honor to be here.
Joining us from Tokyo, we have David, a student also from Our Lady of Fatima. David, good to have you.
Thank you. I'm excited to discuss this important topic.
Next is a student also from Our Lady of Fatima, Mr. Beher. Welcome to the panel.
Thank you. Looking forward to a lively discussion.
And last but certainly not the least, Mr. Manuji, also a student in Our Lady of Fatima.
Thank you for the warm welcome. I'm eager to engage in this important discussion.
Let's begin by discussing the concept of Asian regionalism. Mr. Visconde, can you provide an overview of what Asian regionalism means from China perspective?
Certainly, Asian regionalism refers to the increasing collaboration and integration among Asian nations. For China, this involves strengthening economic ties through initiatives like Belt and Road Initiative, expanding trade, and promoting a multipolar world order. We see it as always to foster greater regional stability and development, and it's aligned with our vision of creating a shared future for Asia.
Thank you, Mr. Visconde. Mr. Camacho, from Southeast Asian perspective, how does regionalism manifest, especially within ASEAN?
In Southeast Asia, ASEAN has played a central role in fostering regional cooperation. Our focus is on economic integration, maintaining peace, and addressing cross-border challenges like climate change, human trafficking, and pandemics. Asian roles as a cohesive voice Asia ensures that smaller nations are represented in regional dialogue with global powers like China and India. However, Asia faces challenges in balancing the diverse interests of its members.
That's an important point, Mr. Mikdao. How does South Asia fit into the broader regionalism picture, especially considering the complex relationship between India, Pakistan, and other neighboring nations?
Southeast Asia's regionalism is often complicated by historical tension and security concern. India, being the largest player, has focused on fostering stronger ties with its neighbors through initiatives like SAARC and the BIMSTEC or BIMS-TEC. However, political rivalries, particularly with Pakistan, and concern over regional security, have integrated deeper integration. That said, there are areas like trade, connectivity, and people-to-people ties where cooperation can still flourish despite these challenges.
Interesting insights. Mr. David, from Japan's perspective, what role does trade play in Asian regional cooperation, and what challenges exist?
Japan plays a significant role in regional trade, particularly through agreements like Comprehensive and Progressive Agreement for Trans-Pacific Partnership. We believe that free trade agreement can drive economic growth and regional integration. However, challenges remain, including protectionism, difference in regulatory standards, and geopolitical tension. Japan is also focused on maintaining balance between economic growth and sustainable development.
Mr. Beher, security concerns seems to be a critical issue in many parts of Asia. How do regional security dynamics shape Asian regionalism?
Indeed, security issue, whether in the South China Sea, the Korean Peninsula, or the Indian-Pakistan border, often shape regionalism in Asia. Countries are keen to balance cooperation with safeguarding their own security interests. Multilateral organizations like the East Asia Summit and the Shangri-La Dialogue are platforms where security concerns are addressed. However, there's often a lack of trust between major powers, making true security cooperation difficult, yet initiatives such as arms control and conflict prevention efforts offer hope for peace.
Finally, Mr. Manugid, what do you think about the geopolitical competition in Asia and how it affects regionalism?
Geopolitical competition, particularly between China, the US, and India, complicates regionalism. While there are opportunities for collaboration, the rise of the great power competition in Asia poses significant risks for regional cohesion. Alliances such as Quad and the growing influence of China through BRI create a complex landscape where countries must navigate between cooperation and competition for regionalism to succeed. There must be efforts to build trust and mutual understanding among regional power.
Thank you, Mr. Manugid. As we can see, Asian regionalism is a multifaceted issue, balancing economic growth, security concerns, environmental sustainability, and geopolitical rivalries. It's clear that cooperation is possible, but it requires concerted effort, dialogue, and trust building. We'll continue to watch how this region evolves. Thank you for all our panelists for their insightful contributions today. Discussion, I'm Mr. Suha. Thank you for tuning in. We hope you found the conversation on Asian regionalism enlightening.